Alright, hello guys. So my name is William. Okay, now I want to talk to you something. Now, and yes, let me tell you something. Oh yeah, let me get onto my Brave browser first, because I'm on Microsoft Edge. Let me fix that first, guys. I have the Brave browser, let me fix that. I don't know why I'm on Microsoft Edge, but sometimes that's what I use to upload my videos, because sometimes it does not work very well on uploading videos. Okay, I'll close that. And now I can take a look at what I show you. All right. Um, okay, I want to talk to you about what happened. So more people. Well, I'm glad that now more people have been making videos about California's agification law. I already made a video about that back in December. Yes, I know it was agification on operating systems, but it's not. But people have been saying saying this wrong. Come on, it's not an ID agification. It's a birthday agification. You have to only, yeah, it's only a birthday or age, and that's it. And then that's it. You're verified. I know it's a very useless law, but you know what? I know, and they want on every operating system, including yeah, I know, including private versions like Linux. I know, and I already called my representative to remove the law, so I've been calling him March, and I called him back in back in the beginning of February to get rid of this law too, and you know what? I was being supportive about it, but but yeah, right, yeah, I didn't know how terrible this law is, so. But thank you for letting me know, but looks like I'll try to fight it the best I can, but if that doesn't work, then I don't know what else to do, guys, so. Because, what we can do to our representative is make some better laws, and I think that's what we can do anyway. I think we need it. I can, and let me help you make this video, and that's something we can do anyway. And I'm glad want people to talk about Meta. Meta, that's the parent company of Facebook and Instagram. Well, yeah, I know. So they're behind these agification laws. Yeah, I don't like that either, but they're just stupid anyway. And plus, I sign up for Facebook and Instagram to post pictures and stuff. Yeah. And these System 76 is trying to fight against these laws. Yeah. The company that's in Colorado? Yeah. Yeah, Colorado, I believe the one in Colorado is probably going to be passing too, not just the one here in California. I believe the one in Colorado is also going to be passed too, so nothing we can do about it. Am I going to have to compile these laws? Well, if I can't find it, I guess I'm going to have to, but not to worry. I can show you what kind of better laws you can tell your representatives to do. Anyway, beforehand. So, today we're going to talk about California's speech code law. Now, because this has been blocked by Netchoice. Now, I've been telling Netchoice to block AB 1043, which is age vacation on operating systems, but this, but I did not know about this law called the California Speech Code Law. Alright, let's learn about the Speech Code Law. Alright, let's see. Because this is from Netchoice. Let's see. California Speech Code concepts websites and digital services revolving online censors for the state creates serious cybersecurity and vulnerabilities in California's their families. So, censorship regimes masquerading as privacy protections will not survive the traditional review. So, March 2025, court ruling has been reaffirmed that First Amendment protections blocking California's unconstitutional speech code, rejecting government mandating censorship. Advising stating that government cannot compel private companies to access or restrict speech under the guise of safety. In March 2026, Netchoice secured a major victory from the U.S. Court apprised for the Ninth Circuit, which agreed to the major victory of California's online speech code was unconstitutional. Of the 6 censorship provisions, Netchoice challenged 5 remained enjoyed after today's decision, and the remaining provision hanging by a thread. Well, what does this mean? So in 2022, California enacted reading a speech code, which is banned by a Project Design Code Act, which requires a website to try to determine their users' ages, restrict access is committed speech. It's behind the First Amendment violations. California's speech code is unconstitutional under Dormant Commerce Clause, under regulates behavior and activities. This takes place regulates behavior, and this takes place outside of California. Although the law also poses requirements on websites for the use of tracking the strange information of their use of websites of 18. The requirements of the conflict of COPPA. The federal law governs how websites handle minors' data. Therefore, California's speech code also violates the Constitution's Supremacy Clause. Proponents for California's speech code claim it's designed to protect minors' their data, but in reality, it takes minors' data less secure. The law basically mandates the websites either impose sweeping speech restrictions. The conduct regulates policies of speech online of the conduct age vacation to properly comply with the law, even when every websites are conduct age vacation. These means companies will have to enforce, collect sensitive data and documentation from all users regardless of age. And this is especially concerning that for minors, they are ready to number one of these target cyber criminals online. With this law, California is additionally taking away the freedom authority of parents to determine what's best for their families to digital consents. Persistent guardians are best suited to guide online experience for their children and not bureaucrats in Sacramento. Netchoice has blocked California's speech code law. Great. But that is a major victory right there, but still. It's just something you have to learn about. But and yes, I do believe, well, is Netchoice also going to block AB 1043 as well, which is the law of having age vacation on operating systems as well? Well, I hope so. I already called representatives to remove it, but yeah, if that doesn't work, it is true that Netchoice will block it too, but we need to make some better laws for our representatives to protect kids. You know, it is true that we have bad parenting, but that's not the only problem we're having. We've been talking about that. We need to give our representatives some better laws to protect kids, and I will show you. I learned this from Netchoice, so let me show you. So, yeah, I know I see that on last time, but I'm happy to take a look on. Okay, so here we are. So right here, it says right here, protect your kids, say no to the Animal Store Freedom Act. This is just talking about what age vacation is, you know. It says right here, only to emphasize the greatest freedom for every American. So right here, force in every stores of insecure of allows hackers, scammers easily targeting children of devices. If passed, the bill breaks conditional parental controls, removing your power, improve reject downloads and in-app purchases. American families are real solutions to online safety, not quick potential fixes. Tell the lawmakers open up and smartphones a separate crime, foreign attacks, and the separate protection. And Congress, say no to this bill and keep kids safe online. Well, and you can call your representatives here. So, right here, so. But I'm not going to do that, so. Yeah, you can contact your representatives from this, so that's why. But I'm not going to do that, so. Today I'm going to show you what kind of better laws you can tell your representatives so you can say about this. Okay? You know, we need to just some better laws to protect kids, right? So, I'm not going to make a video about it, but I will call them later. You know, that's why. So Netchoice is digital security shows for America. So let's show you right here. So families want support to protect kids online. Yes. So Netchoice is digital shield for America, provides legal solutions for policy makers to help. So number one, invest in law and enforcement for child safety. So by funding the law enforcement so they can successfully stop predators and cyber criminals, target children online, and put them behind bars. Well, that is true. We need to stop predators and cyber criminals. That's true. Let's see. But I found out Florida also made a law for that too. Yeah, did Florida make a law for pedophiles to be executed or something like that? Because that's something this is something I have to talk about today. Okay. I think that's what I heard on Twitter, but I could be wrong. Oh yeah, it says right here, you know what? It says no, it's occurred yet under this law. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I understand about that. So yeah, the best you can do is stop predators and cyber criminals, and you need to put them behind bars. Same with pedophiles too. And now number two, lock up more predators and cyber criminals who are targeted on digital services. Yeah, you know. Yeah, that's why. I know these companies. I know these companies. I try to do is sue Roblox. There's nothing you can do at this point. Yeah, I know, suing Roblox. Yeah, and we've been mentioning education in the classroom. Well, also young Americans can learn to navigate digital tools safely, responsibly into childhood. So this is all you can. This is what number 3 is. Yes, you had to put digital education in the classroom. Yes. And then number 4, help parents learn about parental control tools. Okay, the resources currently offered them right now, and digital services can keep their kids safe. Number 5, craft nearly tailored, create defined rules and punish the bad actors who abuse the innovations, like the agenda of artificial intelligence to hurt children, the respective protected rights of Americans. And then secure the federal due privacy framework. So,
William,
yeah.
keep it on brother.
Okay.
In the living room. Come on.
Okay, Mom.
You take that off?
No, Mom.
What about brother?
Well, I'll do it already, Mom.
Well, he's in the living room.
Okay.
So, he keeps going in the kitchen. So maybe bring him over here. Come on, Gaga.
I was going to say a secure personal data and privacy framework to protect data for all Americans and our families. Now join us to keep kids safe online, protect nations of digital age. Now working together we can stop digital criminals, protect kids, and empower parents online while upholding protected rights to Americans.
Here, over here.
And it says contact us at netchoice.org. Yeah.
Stay right there.
Okay. So,
What?
now this is correct. Now this is right. This is quite a laws. I do agree with Netchoice. You know. So this is correct. Well, I do agree with Netchoice a lot better than these laws, than these bad laws are the lawmakers are making right now. You know, with stupid age vacation. So. That's a PDF. Okay, well, I don't. So that's resolutions there. Okay, so that's the PDF right there. So you can see is that we need to. So what we need to do is, I don't have an answer for everything, but we need to call our representatives to tell what's some better laws to protect kids online without age verification being involved. That's why. I don't have an answer for everything, but I believe that's what we can do with this route. So I'll try calling him again and to see if I can ask him and see if I can help him with some better laws to protect kids. But that's all we can do with this route anyway. But at least we have a major win about next to Netchoice. Hopefully Netchoice, yeah, here's the App Store Accountability Act. It takes power away from parents. So you can see. But I don't know why it does not even talk about the Digital Age Assurance Act, which is age vacation on all brain systems. Why is not Netchoice not talking about that part? There's data center on, on facilities. Okay. And there's retailers everywhere. Okay. Investigating AI education by Netchoice. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, just part by AI. Yeah, it's. And there's AI principles. But to me, now, what I think about California speech code law, well, this law is also bad. It's just something that's also bad. I don't know why. But it tells you something. A lot of states, not just here in California, but a lot of other states, have been making laws that violate our First and Fourth Amendment, which is our freedom of speech and our right of privacy. And this includes not just AB 1043, this California speech code law as well. So, all we can do with our representatives is to help them and tell them, for some better laws for us to protect kids. Because, and yes, it's the parents' job to protect kids. That's why. But there's another problem we're having here. Because during this time, because remember I'm talking about the paper bags? The plastic bag ban that's here in California? Well, that's another thing you have to learn about. Okay, so let me show you something. Well, here's what I learned about 2028. Okay, so here's what I learned about. You have to learn something here because it's a paper bag. Now, what is about the paper bag here? Well, let me see. Because right here, well, let me show you, alright? So, starting in January 1st, 2028, paper bags will be provided at checkout in California must be contained about at least 50% of most consumer recycled material considered of under the Senate Bill 1053. Alright, the trained strengthens the environmental strengths of paper bags, making them suitable and recyclable compared to easier versions, which only required 40% of the recycled content. The law aims to reduce waste and promote a circular economy, ensuring that paper bags used in grocery stores are made of higher quality recycled materials. While paper bags are inherently more recyclable than plastic, the new standard ensures and due to mainly the recycle goals. Okay, I even don't know how they're gonna do this because it's just something you have to learn about. You know, paper bags being more recyclable. Because here, right here, yeah. So starting in January 1st, 2028, the Colorado Law SB 53 mandates that all paper carry-out bags provided retailers must contain at least 50% consumer recycled content. Regulation of the bolster circular economy and packaging of the recyclability of the reliance of the aligning of the 2026 total ban on plastic bags. So requirements of paper bags in California in 2028. The cycle paper bag, okay, the cycle content. The paper bags will be, remember, 50% most conserve waste material, tightening of the current standards. Target retailers. So this applies to grocery stores, convenience stores, and performances of providing bags to the point of the sale. And regular content. The expected party is shifting in 2026 to remove all plastic bags and then leaving a primary mandate of recycle option. Now the consumer impact. The consumers will continue to pay a minimum 10-cent fee for recycling bags, enforcing insensitive of reusable bags. The needs require to ensure that paper bags are filling to avoid left of the plastic bag, is suitable for recyclable. Now, I even don't know how they're going to make paper bags more recyclable, with this weight. But they said they said they're starting this but they said that this will become law in January 1st, 2028. I don't know if this is a good way to do this. The paper bags. This is great and all, but this is something you have to learn about, the paper bags. Man, I think it's just something you have to learn about too, So I even don't know if you're gonna like this. You know, paper bags being more recyclable. See, but this is what they're planning here in California. I don't know how they're gonna pull this off. You know, but you tell me. You know, I'm not just talking about. I'm not talking about just AB 1043. That's another problem. I know people have been talking about that a lot, but I'm talking about other things that's been happening too. So, because this is something you have to learn about too. I'm not so much worried about this law, as much as be worried about AB 1043. But this is something you have to learn about. So I don't know what the paperbacks are gonna look like if they're gonna be more recyclable in 2028. That's something. Do you have a point of what they look like? Hmm. So I don't know. If you like this law, let me know. If you don't, that's okay. It's just something you have to learn about. But yeah, this is not as bad as AB 1043, which been people have been talking about age vacation on operating systems. You know, yeah. I'll put links in the box below if you want to know more about this. But I'll let you read right here if you want to learn more about the paper bag. But right here, see here, effective in January 1st, 2028, the recycled paper carry-out bags must contain minimum 50% post-consumer recycled materials. That's what it is. That's what they're saying. I don't know how they can pull this off, and you know, but that's probably another law that's coming up in January 2028. You know, I don't know anybody else is talking about this. You know, I'll put this. I'll put this description box below so you can learn more about the paper bag ban here in California, so you can learn about more about that. You know, just in case you like this, just in case you like this or not. But yeah, the California speech code is just something you have to learn about. Maybe later on I might have to talk about the traffic laws here in California. That's something you might have to talk about soon too. You know. You know. I'll talk about it later on in the future. But that's something you have to learn about. Anyway, hopefully you can hopefully, you can also ask me about, because I don't know everything, but what other good laws do you want me to tell my representatives to help protect kids online, or help them any other things, and also, do you like the bag ban? If you don't, that's okay. You can let me know if you don't. That's something. You know. And here's Google Earth right here. So. I don't know what this to do at this point. Yeah, its aviation does get any worse in the U.S. I'll tell you where I will move to in the future once I get enough money to. Well, maybe you'll know. Since I learned that age vacation is not being on social media in Japan, well, it's not in Taiwan either. So, yeah, well, probably what I have to do is move to Taiwan instead. But right now I don't have the money, so yeah, I don't have the money to leave California. I'm sorry, but you know what? It's just something I have to do anyway. And yeah, age vacation spreading everywhere in the U.S. There's nothing I can do to stop it. I can try to call I'll just keep calling representatives to try to fight this, but and I'll make sure to vote no on the other ones. That's all I can do anyway. And that's what you guys have to do too. You know, thanks to the UK, just thanks to the UK, and also Mark Zuckerberg, the CEO of Meta, gained us to this mess. You know. Anyway, you know. So you've been asking, like, who are my representatives? Well, that's a good question right there. Well, they're Democrats. That's the problem. Well, I got so you got I got no more Taurus, and I also got Susan Rubio and Michelle Rodriguez. Yes, those people. Those are my, because I live in Ontario, so those are my representatives I can only call. I don't really. Now, let me tell you something. For these education laws, I even don't really care. I really don't. You know, this is something community, but I don't really, you know, like these politicians at all. But I'm a nice person, and I try to treat everybody the best I can, and I do believe what the Bible says, you know. It is now this is now they just been gone way too far, all because of age verification and stuff like that. You know, if this has been talked about, if this didn't happen, I would have gone back up just preaching the Bible and start playing my games anyway. But anyway, I'm gonna talk about something else. So I don't know what to talk about next video anyway, but I have to go right now and talk. And I have to go right now and take care of my brother Daniel. So I have to go right now. So thank you for watching this video. I'm going to say goodbye. Adios, Zaijian. Okay, I'm back as I forgot to say. Please make sure to watch my How to Go Heaven video on Rumble. Alright, and then, and please stay tuned for more videos. Okay? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Goodbye, friends. Oh, let me move my tablet out of the way. Oops. Oops. Everything's falling. I move my tablet out of the way because it was in the middle of the video. Okay. Okay, now it's out of the way anyway. I'll see you later. Goodbye, friends.